What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Sibling Duo Podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Tiffany. And this is Season 2,
Episode 1. Welcome back, guys. We are now in Season 2, sophomore year for me and Tiffany.
Sophomore year.
And yeah, we're happy to be back. Good to see you, Tiffany.
Good to see you too. Yeah, we're back. And I mean, Daniel looks pretty much the same as last year. we were just talking before this, and he's got the same red jacket, but
The new
and
Adidas,
updated.
bro.
Yes.
Same hat, though.
Yep.
But a lot has changed, obviously, since a year ago. And honestly, it could not be more of a difference. I don't feel like, for me at least, coming into sophomore year at college is a completely different experience than being a freshman by far. Honestly, just knowing like the people I'm going to be living with, knowing already how to get around the campus already, and knowing just the basic how to manage your time well, knowing how to do school and all that sort of stuff in college. It's really changed a lot. But in the same way, it's still kind of like I told you guys earlier, but it kind of is like a second freshman year as well, where it's like it's just a better freshman year because like we're still not upperclassmen yet, but we're kind of like right in between. But we kind of know some things.
Sophomore's considered upperclassmen, right?
Well, it's kind of. It's like we're the middle classmen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, for me, let's see. Not a lot has changed, I guess, but I think the feeling going into sophomore year is a lot different. Because last year was just such a big life change with you moving out and having to get used to that while at the same time entering into high school. But I think like the transition, at least for me, was easier this year. We knew what it was like without you gone, kind of what our routine would look like, I guess. So that was, it was sad. It was also different because you you flew away to your school home.
Yeah.
You flew away to Nashville, so we didn't drive you, so it wasn't like that leaving and then a drive back home.
Oh yeah.
But so that was different. But I think this year for me, every year, obviously you're growing and as a person, but I think this year, personally, I was the most confident in who I was going into a school year, and I just like felt very rooted in that this year. I think that was different from the past, and just I felt ready. I wasn't overwhelmed by going into the school year, and that was just a big blessing because it can be hard. Change can be hard, but actually my mom and I were talking earlier about change, and a lot of times it can be looked down on. It's like, I don't want this season to change. I like it how it is. And that can be true. And I've definitely felt that, especially with you going off to college. It was like, I don't want this season to change. I like it how it is. But, if you look at it, it's actually a blessing. Change is a blessing. Like, if we were stuck in who we always were, if we were stuck in the way life it always is, like, we don't want that. No. But at the same time, God is not changing, and that is such a blessing because we can root ourselves in him because he's not changing. And so when we go through different seasons of life, when we go through freshman year, transitioning to sophomore year, it's a blessing because we can root ourselves in him and be confident in that,
Yeah.
So, I think so far it's been a pretty good year for me, and, excited to see all that this year has.
Yeah. That was incredible. By the way, I feel like sophomore year you're able to like really hit the ground running. Like
Yeah.
as you're saying, you kind of already feel like you've got a feel for things. You kind of understand how it was last year. You've got some experience under your belt. As you said, you're more rooted in who you are,
Hmm.
and now it's just a chance to really take that to the next level and continue to grow, continue to get better at everything, and to be able to be a good friend, be a good
Yeah.
student, be a good athlete, whatever it is. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
an exciting time. Sophomore year is very fun. I feel like also for me at least, I in high school I didn't have a very similar sophomore year to you,
Yeah.
where like my freshman year was like very different with COVID and I wasn't at school at all. But then
Hmm.
sophomore year coming back, it was like jumping from middle school to the middle of high school. Oh, high school is like
Yep.
it's a very different time, and everyone has changed a lot by that point.
Yep.
And some people had left the school, some people had joined different like friend groups.
Yep.
Sports was a lot different, so everything was just like, what the heck is going on when I came back?
Yep.
And it was still in the wake of the pandemic
Hmm.
in late 2021, all that sort of stuff. So like it was just a very odd time, and even 2022 was just kind of a weird year. But honestly, it's really cool to be able to be like a freshman and be a sophomore in more of a normal like world
Yep.
circumstances as well, because it's just like, wow, this is kind of cool. Like being a freshman was like not fun lot, but it was also a great experience. Like not having to be the oldest all the time, being able
Yeah.
to be younger and still be able to learn a lot and like have that experience was really great. But being able to
Yeah.
be a sophomore now, it's pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking when you were saying that, like, our high school experiences are pretty much like polar opposite because, first of all, you had the weird COVID happen right during freshman year, and then all that. But then I am experiencing it normally, and I don't have COVID,
Yeah.
happening. But at the same time, I'm having it as a single child ish at home,
Ooh,
type. So, like,
true.
that's opposite because we had each other during your high school.
Yeah.
So it's just like completely different experiences. But sophomore year also is kind of an interesting and like fun time because for like high school and kind of a little bit with college as well, it's like at that point, junior year, you're like looking on to the future, figuring out what you want to do next. If you're
Yes.
like for high school, a lot of times you're starting applications or tours and stuff like that of colleges. And so sophomore year is kind of like, the last bit of like, not, how do you say that? Childhood? Like, I don't know,
Yes.
just
No, I know
like,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, I know I've been thinking a lot about just like wanting to enjoy this time in life and
Yes.
like
Enjoy it while you have it.
exactly and not like look back and be like, oh, I wish I had gotten more involved here or got more plugged in.
Yes.
Like, I just want to like live and like be a part of stuff and not like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
No, no, that's really, really
yeah,
good. Yes, and like I feel like sophomore year, at least for me, like this part of college, it's like the best of freshman year without all of like the annoying parts of freshman year. Like
yep,
it's not like the weird growing pains of like transitioning from high school to college anymore. And it's like you have all
yeah,
your friends, you have the rhythms, you just have so many fun experiences and are able to also like really start going in the direction you want to at school, but it's
yeah.
without all like the annoying parts of freshman year. So
And
yeah, it's exciting.
it also for me, at least with high school, I feel like a high schooler now,
Yeah.
and I'm taking the classes, like I'm taking chemistry now and
Yeah.
algebra 2 and all like the bigger classes. I feel like I'm actually a real, but
You're
like at
there.
the same time, I'm like, I do not feel as old as when I was younger. I looked to the people that were in high
Yes.
school. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, they're so old. Like, they're like practically adults. Look at them. Like, they're so
Yeah.
cool. And now I'm like a high schooler and I'm like,
No, it's crazy.
nah.
I like to think that like some people that were babysitting us when they were like 10th grade, 11th grade were like only your age or a little
Yeah.
bit younger even. It's like, dang, like
Yeah.
they really didn't have as much life experience
Yeah.
as we thought they did. Like we thought they were like full grown adults and were doing all this
Yeah.
cool stuff. It's like, they can barely drive. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as the year goes on, we'll be able to continue to
Yeah.
test this theory. I'm sure it also will get a little harder, but
Hmm.
the wise fool as sophomore year, I think that's like the
Yeah.
best way to describe it. Like you feel like you know so much, but you're still just figuring it out. And so
Yeah.
honestly, I'm really excited for this year. But yeah.
Yeah. And also my ASL teacher, I'm taking ASL 2 this year, American Sign Language, and she called us, like, you know how parents often refer to like their toddlers as like the terrible twos, you know? Well, we're in that like second year of ASL.
Yeah.
So, and same thing applies for like second year of high school, where
Yeah.
like you know enough that you're not like, oh my goodness, I'm a high schooler, I'm like freshman year, but you're also just like not there yet. It's
Yep.
like
Yep.
kind of it's a funny in between time.
For
We're in
sure.
our we're in our toddler phase of high school.
Definitely toddlers. Well, this summer was definitely an exciting summer for us. I honestly loved it. It was a very unusual summer, but being able to
Unusual,
come
yeah.
back after freshman year, like not knowing exactly how summer would look, or even knowing how the year would look as like a family, and coming back
Yeah.
and be able to be with you and be with the dogs and mom and
Yeah.
dad, it was very fun. Even though there's a lot of
The
unusual
circumstances,
circumstances that
yeah.
happen. But yeah, what happened at the start of the year, Tiffany?
Yeah, so I don't even know the last time we did a podcast. So
Yeah,
I
it
don't.
was with mom, I think, right? The
Oh,
last one.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So nothing had really unfolded before
No,
that.
no.
Okay. So like last spring was track season for me. I think I've kind of talked about some of my knee problems that I've had. I think we had like an injury episode and we kind of talked about
Yes.
that. But at that point we really didn't know what was going on with my knee. I thought it was IT band stuff, so it was just kind of like trying to control that, take care of my body, do exercises like strengthening exercises and stretching stuff.
Yeah.
But then towards the end of track season, we were going into districts. My knee started to like act up again. So, I just was icing it, doing the best I could. But then districts came around. So it was the district meet. After districts, if you place top four, you go on to regionals and then eventually to states. So you kind of really have to do your best at districts, and that's what the whole season is leading up towards. So I did four events. So I had long jump, triple jump, 400 hurdles, and 4x4. So at some point, I think during long jump, I started feeling my knee, but I was like, bummer, but like I'll just work through it. And then I did triple jump, which is obviously a lot of pressure on your knees.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was definitely feeling it, but I was like, it's probably just because I did a lot of jumping today. Then I went into 400 hurdles, and I remember warming up for 400 hurdles, and I was like, man, I just need to get through this race. Like, I'm in so much pain right now.
No.
But I didn't really know. I just thought it was really bad IT band. And so I was like, it's fine. But I did all of my 400-meter hurdles. It wasn't my best race. It was also super hot out. But I got through it. It wasn't painful during the race. Uh, but then afterwards, I still had 4x4. Well, looking back, it's kind of a crazy story, but my asthma got really flared up. There was a lot of dust in the air.
Mm,
So I ended up not running it because my
that's
lungs
good.
were not in a place to run it.
Yeah.
But looking back, that was kind of a blessing
Yeah.
because I got home that night and I just couldn't walk. It was so painful, the worst I had ever experienced. Um, then I had like school the next day, I think, and so I just kind of took it easy. Was like, man, this is really bad. I remember just getting in and out of the car, walking down the hallway at school. I was in so much pain. I've never
Mm,
experienced like the level of just like it just like it was really bad. So I was like, we need to figure this out. I had regionals a week and a half or 2 weeks. So I was like, am I going to be able to compete? Like, we need to kind of figure this out. So we got referred to a doctor that was able to get me in pretty quickly, and I got an MRI. And then we got the results back, and it ended up coming back that I had a complex meniscus tear. So we went back into the doctor, and they basically explained I also have a cyst on the side, or had a cyst.
Yeah.
And that basically showed that the tear, I had had an original tear about a year before, so that's why I've been having all the knee pain.
Yeah.
And then at districts, when it started hurting super bad, I had had all these radial tears, so it had basically just
Yeah.
shredded.
Yeah.
They recommended surgery, and they were like, it's not really going to heal on its own. And then there's also this cyst that we need to kind of deal with as well. Because basically with the tear, it had been feeding like a pocket of like fluid that was collecting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this all kind of happened at the very end of your year.
Yeah.
And wait, how did this work out? So I couldn't do regionals. I couldn't compete, obviously. So we were able to drive up and see one of your last meets. But my season was kind of done, but then we were in a waiting time, just like
Mm.
figuring out when I was going to be able to have surgery and figuring out the surgeon that we wanted to
Yeah.
operate on my knee and all that. So then you had your conference meet. That was super exciting because you got to like compete at the highest level.
Yeah.
It was super fun to go and watch you. But then we came home, and wait, my timeline's like
No,
all
no, that's right. And you went
okay.
home.
And then you came right after that, you came back home.
Yeah,
And then
we all went home together.
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. So we came home, and another
Yes.
we'll take a little break.
Yeah, I'll take a pause and we'll
Yeah.
revisit this story. So then we got home. We were not able to live in our house. We got back and we had to sleep in our on our porch because back porch because there was mold in our house, and this mold was in the vents of our house, so all the rooms essentially were contaminated by it. So we for the next like 2.5 weeks or something, we had to live in an Airbnb, um, and not in our house while they completely tore all the mold out, rebuilt all the parts that were ruined and whatnot, and got new air ducts and all that sort of stuff. And so, meanwhile, my dad was going and managing all that, and Tiffany had her surgery in the middle of this time. So, like in
Yeah.
that 2 weeks period, while we were at the Airbnb, Tiffany had to go get her surgery, and then the first like week or so of recovery, we were at this Airbnb while our house was just getting demolished basically, and from the inside. So yeah,
Yeah, so you came home and you never even went to our house
no,
cuz we
yeah,
couldn't go. Yeah. So then I ended up having surgery, like you said, and honestly, it kind of worked out well how the Airbnb was set up
yeah,
because um, it was the kitchen and the living room were like all but one big room. So it was super nice because I could be in the living room, like on the couch, and then you guys would be with me basically the whole time.
yeah,
And also, just the way simple things like the bathroom was set up, it made it easier for me coming out of surgery because I had to be non weight bearing. So,
yeah.
because of the complexity of my tear, basically, a lot of people have meniscus surgery and they just trim it out or do little repairs and then you can walk right away. But mine was
So
different.
bad, so terrible that that was not possible, guys.
So they had to like stitch it together the best they could and just like um, do all the repair, decompress the cyst, all that. But if I were to walk on it, it would
Yeah,
put, pressure on my meniscus and cause what they had done to like
to be
not work and
ruined. Yeah,
like ruin the surgery. So I, for 10 weeks, it ended up being, did not use my right leg. So that was also an adjustment, getting used to walking around.
oh my gosh,
Um,
yeah. You guys have no idea. Like,
yeah,
imagine not being able to walk for 3 months, basically. Like,
it was,
everything you do in your life, you walk to. So she could not walk.
yeah, and like, it's just no one can prepare you for it until it
No.
happens. I remember asking the surgeon, and I was like, "Wait, so like you mean like I can't put my leg down? Like, how do you even do that? Like, it's just I couldn't even like imagine it because it's like
No.
you use your legs all the time and you walk around, and so it's just like crazy to not have that. But I was super blessed because my mom's a nurse. Obviously, you guys got to meet her, and if you didn't, go check out the
Watch that
last
episode.
episode. Yeah. So I had her, and she just took such good care of me. And then I had you, and you, like, were just the best brother ever. And you know, he. I mean, how do I even start? But you like kept me entertained. Like you would just like always be with me, and um, we watched movies. We had friends over. Everyone was so kind, and
Yeah.
um, just it was just like it's so weird because like that was such like a time
It was
bubble,
like a
and now
season, yes. It was like this little tiny like pocket of our life that was just like
yeah,
yeah, I didn't I speaking of not prepared for it, the night before she had surgery, we basically we went out to the front like to the road and stuff and played football and basketball and stuff and
yeah.
just like got her to be able to run as much as she could before she had to go and
Because
not be
at
able to
that point my knee was like
yeah.
okay again because
Yeah.
some of the radial tears had started to heal. So I was like, oh shoot, like why am I even doing this?
Yeah, there's like that moment I remember them like, should we even do this surgery? But we like went and just did a bunch of stuff active and I was like, "Oh, well, this will be kind of sad. A couple of basically, my mind is like a couple of days. She won't be able to do anything with me again. And I was like, yeah, she's gonna have to just sit on the couch and just like chill, and then eventually she'll be back. I didn't expect that. She basically, guys, did not even put her foot down until when I was basically leaving. To like she
Yeah,
put it down and she could not walk until basically I left for college. So like the
it
entire
was the whole
summer,
summer.
she could not, um, yeah, do anything with
And on
me.
top of
So
that, my leg is like locked out in a
yep,
locking brace.
yeah.
And so, you know, besides not being able to walk around, it's also like for the first few weeks, it's sore and
Yeah.
painful. So it's not like I can go out in the car or
No.
go on a walk or something. Like I was pretty much just like laying, like icing it and stuff.
Just sitting there. It was so sad.
But
But she had a great
then,
attitude. Yeah.
then that's not it. 2 weeks later, I was,
Yeah.
just starting to come out of my post-op like pain. I was like starting to get in a rhythm, and lo and behold,
I
Daniel.
had yes, I had to repair nasal trauma to my nose. I had to basically go in and have my nose just like broken and then re-fixed with a bunch of other cartilage grafts in my nose so I could breathe
A
normally
bunch,
again.
four
For yeah,
graphs.
it was a 4.5 hour surgery, which was crazy to be under for that long because then you wake up and it's like nothing ever happened, but then you feel terrible. And but that we had literally just moved into our house as well, so like we had moved everything in. We had to wash. My mom had to wash and fold all of the sheets, all these clothes and everything,
Every piece of
all
clothing.
of my mom's clothes, all of my dad's clothes, mine. Like pretty much all of them are in my suitcase as well from college, but then all the like my older like little kid clothes too that were like in like my room. Like it was just like all this stuff we had to like wash, everything we had to wipe down. So
Our
my
whole
my
house
parents
was
were just
like
like always doing that, and we were it was crazy. And so then my poor mom had to take care of both of us because I couldn't do anything for like a week and a half, 2 weeks either. I was sitting there, could barely breathe. There's all that stuff up my nose. It was crazy,
and
but
guys, the doctor literally said that it was one of the worst he had ever seen. Like Daniel's septum, what is it called? Like whatever. It was at a 90-degree angle.
yeah,
Okay? Like his nose was extremely bad. But
yeah.
then you yeah,
I mean, a guy did smash his forehead into my nose at a soccer game in high school. Completely, it was such excruciating pain. Like, so
there's
obviously,
nothing there's
and
nothing
Tiffany
like
broke her
nose
nose
pain.
too. She knows like that. So
Yeah, someone put their full force knee like they were kicking. I was
bozo,
goalie.
can't believe she did that to
Knee to
you.
the nose.
It's bad.
We
It's
should go
bad.
into we should do like a different podcast that's like
Just like a medical breakdown podcast of all the
medical
problems.
or like go more in depth into surgery because like you have a
Yes.
crazy surgery stuff that
Yeah,
happened.
it's a whole other world. But so that
Yeah.
happened, and then we as soon as I got cleared to basically not have to sit on the couch anymore, and that I wasn't having an infection, we went up to Maine to my grandpa's old house, and my mom essentially spent the entire rest of the summer cleaning out that house. That was my grandpa's and my grandma's as well, but she has passed away many years ago. All of that stuff that had collected there, and having to do all that. So that was my mom had a crazy summer too. Like it was for her, it was just like grind the
Nonstop.
whole time. And then after that, came back and I immediately basically Tiffany we had like a week or so, and then here I am back in Nashville. So
Yep. And you had anesthesia again.
oh yeah, I also had another little surgery to implant a loop recorder heart monitor right here. That's about this big, just pops in there, because in throughout high school I had some like heart palpitation problems type things like that, and I'd had other monitors that were just like the sticky pads or the little strip, but they couldn't really fully get good data on it. And because obviously my mom and her side of the family has had like heart problems in the past and heart history stuff, and because I'm still doing a lot of athletics and am like obviously young, they just want to monitor it
Yeah.
and have like a good way to get good data on that just as I get older. So we have if I have anything wrong, which hopefully I don't, but there we go.
Yeah.
But so that was another thing, and then I also had a meningitis B shot the day before I
Oh my
left
gosh.
here, and I got the shot. I was chilling, just sitting with my mom. Like 5 minutes after, had been perfectly fine. Then all of a sudden, got super hot and started
Oh my
blacking
gosh.
out. And I was like, oh, not this. And my body just had a terrible reaction to this shot. Like for almost 2 hours, we were at the doctor's office because my body just could not like regulate itself. Like it kept getting dizzy and hot and like all sort of stuff. And I never actually fully passed out because I learned from Tiffany's experience when she did pass out on the airplane.
Oh, we've
That,
passed out like
yeah, we
20
passed out.
times.
We'll have to do that
Yeah.
a whole episode
That's
on
a
that
different
later.
episode.
But if you squeeze your hands together, it will push
Mhm.
all the blood back. And so I never actually passed out. And obviously, my body did not like the meningitis B vaccine. But that was the day before I left. And I had my heart monitor in at that point. And
Oh
so I
my,
was pressing my
yeah.
heart. I remembered while I was like going through these episodes during this reaction, to like press the heart monitor button on my app. And so my cardiologist called us in the middle of all this and was like, we're seeing your things. Can you please call us back? Blah, blah, blah. And she had seen obviously some palpitations like arrhythmia and PVC stuff, but she also saw my heart stop for like 4 seconds at a time, multiple times when I was like going to those like syncope episodes. And so we learned that this thing works because obviously I
Yeah.
was able to flag that to her, and we got a good like safe test of like what it is like to have this interface with the doctor's office. So kind of cool that like as it was happening, she was able to call us. So
Kind of cool,
kind of
you
cool.
know?
But anyway, so that was basically
Yeah.
summer. At the very end of the summer, right before I left. We released a song called "Count Your Sheep" that had been in the works for
Yes.
almost 2 years. Not like we'd been working on it, but it had been. We started it. I
Mm.
think I might have been even 11th grade or very beginning of 12th grade.
Really?
I made like a beat with you in your room, and I sent it to our buddy Landon McIntyre, and he
Yeah.
cleaned it up, made it really, really good, sent it back, and we just like never did anything on it. And so at the end of last spring, when Tiffany came up to Nashville for the Vanderbilt track meet that I was running at, she came. I had been working on some of the verses for it. 'Cause it's a rap, and we recorded her vocals and her
Yep.
verse in my dorm that right between races, so between like one of my races before I went back to the track, and
Yeah.
got it fully recorded, and then came back and kind of intermittently between all this crazy summer stuff we just like cleaned it up a bit and released it. And it was really cool because it was a great way to like have a project where it was something that we had never done before, and so we were able to like just complete the project. Like we talked about this before, like it's so important to complete projects,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's like just putting it on YouTube or like having an audio file that you like to show someone else. You
Mm-hmm.
have to complete a project if you make it. Like
It's
never
hard.
leave. And
Yeah.
that can be for music, but can also be for other stuff too. But like always complete your projects and have some sort of like deadline or goal, or else you're just never gonna do it. And so for us, it was like we done the way we've done it for a long time is like let's try something new. Let's try actually releasing a song. And this will be
Yeah. Onto
our
all
thing
platforms.
onto
Yeah.
all like real platforms. So that was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, I guess the best things, you let them marinate, sit for a
Yes.
while. Took a little
Yes.
hiatus to make this. Had to
Yes,
make sure
yes,
episode
yes.
would be
That bar is
great.
so tough. And I
Uh-huh.
had a sticky note above my like desk for all of high school that said, if you wait for the proper time, a song will find the moment to come to life or something like that. Like if you wait, a song will find
Yes.
its time to come to life. And like there's certain things where like it's like, is that really true? But like I fully believe that because like you can have a song that you've never touched for years and all of a sudden it's like, wow, like
Yeah.
this is the moment to do this. And so I think
And
it's really cool to be able to do stuff like that.
and that like goes for different things, like when you're reading the Bible and it's like
Yes.
you read a verse that you just always read, but then one day you read it and it's just like,
Comes to
oh
life.
my goodness, that makes sense, or that helps me with this, or this makes me
Yes.
see something completely different.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And like we recorded the video, the
Yes.
music video.
The day before her
Yep,
surgery, guys. So if you go
yep,
onto our YouTube channel, that video was the last time she's ever jumped up and down. At the end,
yep,
we were just jumping up.
yep.
That was the last time you can see her jumping. But yeah, that was really fun, and it was just a fun thing to do to like have a little
Yeah.
thing to do this summer,
And
So,
good thing we did that when we did, because
yeah,
Daniel obviously didn't
I was
know
like,
that
oh
I
yeah, we
wouldn't
can do
be
it in a few weeks,
walking.
Yeah, like there's no worries. I literally thought, well, if it doesn't turn out, we'll just video, before I leave.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I had. I was so not prepared for that. And I was like, dang, this is actually real. Like she cannot actually do anything, and
Yeah,
being obviously in Maine and stuff, it's like the
yeah.
outdoor state. Like what are you supposed to do? Sit inside of like a
That's what I
house
did.
built like 150 years ago and do nothing? Like that's what she had to do. So like, yeah, props
But,
to you, but it was tough.
2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, I started walking again. So
Heck yeah,
my life is very different and it's very exciting. So,
yeah,
yeah,
guys, we're so back. Tiffany's
we
back to
are so
walking.
back.
We're back to the season 2. We're back. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks for tuning in. I know today it's a little bit of a longer episode, but we had a lot to catch you guys up on. So we are excited. We are back. Don't worry,
we're
and we
so
will
back.
we'll be back, and we'll. I look forward to another great year.
Have a great year, sophomore year 2.
Sophomore year too,
All right,
baby.
guys, we'll see you at the next episode. Have a great week. Peace.
Peace.